Weight Watchers and lost 4 pounds in a week. That was so funny.
So I'm going to preface on this video that you were the patient that complained about 4 pounds.
Yeah.
And let me recap how I finished that conversation. Basically, I called you an entitled bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I told you to get the F-bomb out.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
I don't think it was telling. I think you...
I demanded.
demanded.
No, really. I was like, no, really. Get out. I wish I had that on camera.
Oh, that was so funny.
Well, you knew I wasn't trying to be a bitch. I was trying to make a point with you.
Right. Shock you into do you hear what you're saying?
Correct.
Which
complaining about 4 pounds. However, because that week, let's go back to that video beforehand. You were so excited. You had a party, gone to parties, didn't touch anything, went to a restaurant.
Didn't cheat.
And you know what? You wanted a comparable reward.
Absolutely.
So you imposed you thought that you earned more than what the body gave you.
Yeah.
So just think about what it takes to make the assumption that your body knows how hard that was. And it should burn more fat for that reason. Like it knows and understands your hardships.
Doesn't it?
No. It doesn't care.
Yeah, not so much.
So when you hear it that way, doesn't it make you go, what?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you are so normal. How many people go through and do something they're super proud of, but only because they need that reward?
Yeah.
So this week, after we talked, I kind of finished with stop dealing with your body fat because, as you're gaining, you don't give a crap, and this is a sign you really don't care if you're not being restricted about your weight. Mm-hmm. That's the opposite side of the mirror.
Right. Let
me rephrase that just so that so if you care about how much you're losing while you're restricting, that's an equal opposite reaction to how little you care as you're gaining and not feeling restricted. That's why people who go off of a diet don't monitor their weight. They just don't care about the weight. They're not being restricted. They don't need the reward. Plus, you make the assumption, and this is when we talked about when you first came in that prep about the diet is how you enable the excessive eating. You don't care about your weight because you can just try to get rid of it later. Mm-hmm. And you really suck at getting rid of it anyways because there's always this entitled eating. So you end up just dieting 24/7 and binging 24/7. And it all basically equals out to obesity and more obesity, blah, blah, blah. Anyways.
Yeah.
So by catching you in the act of that, I only lost 4 pounds in a week. Well, and you said to me, well, I lost 8.5 the week prior, the first week on the very low calorie protocol.
Of course. So
when you take overall weight lost in a 2-week period of time, you lost in 14 days over 12 pounds.
Which is a huge amount.
Yes!
I drove away going, wow, that was really stupid. Because think about this on the grand scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but when you're depriving yourself of something you really love to do, it's the blinders get on.
Yeah.
It was that quick and easy. Because before that, you were, oh my gosh, I feel so good. I feel so good. Proud, excited. And then it went, ugh.
And I hadn't weighed myself all week.
Mm-mm.
So my
you
mind
had an expectation.
And I felt great. So I'm thinking, wow, I must have lost another,
8 pounds.
Yeah. So I was just a little, surprised.
So I'm thinking we should weigh you today. Or not? What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I like the weekly check-in. And I'm going to be out of town.
So what if you only lose 2 pounds?
I feel great. And
I was going to say,
2 more pounds.
Because you walked in the door, and you obviously look different to me this week. It is so incredible. The third week, most people stall out big time. Especially if you time it with ovulation, which is what we try to do with every woman. Uh-huh. But your skin, it's so visibly obvious you are healthier.
Yeah, I feel it. I really do feel it. And I'm sleeping. I think a big part of that, again, we talked about that. I'm actually sleeping for, more than just my 4 hours a night.
Let's go into that real quick because sleep is so incredibly important because that's when your body recovers and regenerates. So if you're not getting sleep, you're aging quicker.
I've had about 30 years of sleep deprivation.
And so do you feel kind of like a teenager right now?
A little bit. It's just, you wake up and you actually feel like you're ready to be out. No, I sleep on my back. You don't get the face crunch. I don't get the pillow crunch.
Yeah.
So no, I just I do. I feel like it's going backwards. Wash my face in the morning. I'm like, this is good. This is firmer.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't lose 1 more pound from this moment forward, could you take what you have right now and be happy the rest of your life with it?
Happy the rest of my life with it. No. I mean, right now I feel like what I've done in this amount of time is really, really impressive, and I like how I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's potential for better. I know that I still have...
You're still being defined by the physical view of you versus
Right.
the physical sense. Take the view out. Pretend like you're blind and can't see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
Is it acceptable?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all you have left is your judgment of your body.
Mine
Visibly.
and everybody else because of my industry.
That's true. You're
You
a
know.
performer. However, remember what we said last time about...
Screw 'em.
You're only being criticized by people who are extremists to one side.
Yeah.
Everybody else looks at you and goes, listen to her voice and how your persona. Really, the convincing part isn't what we see. It's the personality.
Right.
You know that as well as I do. Because some people are skinny and beautiful. They do not got it.
Right.
They don't have it. They don't have whatever it takes to convince the viewer that they're involved.
Yeah.
So...
That's really true.
Really, is that about your body fat? Is the body fat hindering you from that?
Not
or
from
is
that,
it
no,
hindering
not
you from that for people who are ignorant assholes?
Yeah, that.
Do you care about them?
Well, some of them are close friends that are also in the industry, and so they're very focused on that.
Because that's their insecurity.
Exactly. And that's
So
where
are
they're...
they dictating how you feel about your body?
I'm realizing that they have a much bigger impact on it.
Okay, that's why I'm talking about
Yeah,
it. Because when you say this, it's like,
yeah,
listen to who you care about. You care about them unconditionally. If they gain fat, would you be like, in your face, sucker?
No.
I still love you.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't care, right?
I don't care. I don't
Okay.
care.
So if they do, have you ever thought that if you let go of this idea that you really care, that's a flaw that you have to make up for? Because when you came in here, you obviously didn't care enough as you were gaining before. And they're still your friends, right? Even if they're opinionated about it, they still love you, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So this thing that you just are talking about based on their opinion in the industry is a delusion. Because you've been fatter and they love you just the same and their opinions haven't changed.
No, that's true.
So you're losing weight. They may be like obviously giving you positive reinforcement, but their opinion's still the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They don't like you more because you're thinner.
No, that's true.
So whose issue is this? Because you can't put it on them.
Well, it's my issue that I care about their opinions. Because they still have those opinions. They
Yeah,
still
but
love me.
you
just
didn't
the
care
same.
enough as you were gaining before. For some reason, you care enough right now.
Yeah. I'm just fed up. I'm ready for...
Fed up with the opinion or fed up with...
It's... Remember my catalyst being my husband and his cooking habits. And wanting to be able to live with this person that I adore.
Got it. You're fed up with the diet.
I'm fed up with the diet.
Okay.
I want to be able to eat and support myself without restricting what he enjoys doing so much.
Can you do that without it being motivated by the foundation of insecurity with your body?
I think I can.
Okay, so you need to rethink now. If you had the body you have today, relative to what it was before and as big as you've ever been,
Yeah.
is this acceptable?
Mm-hmm.
I know it is.
Yep.
If it's not, your motive is coming from a very shallow place.
Right.
And it will not compare to when you want to eat with your husband for those reasons. It's not enough for that.
Yeah.
You know that out of experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if I'm going to prep you for reality, you've got to kind of let go of the body image stuff. Know that regardless of how fat you are, their opinions are still pig-headed and very narrow-minded. And it's a reflection of what makes them feel secure because they probably are skinny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it's a false sense of insecurity or security, which is shallow. Regardless, it is what it is. Can you continue to be okay with where you're at today if it allows you to have the freedom to eat with your husband functionally?
Functionally.
There's
and
a
that's
big
what
difference.
I'm getting out of this. Is like, last night he was having apple pie a la mode after he ate an entire bag of hash brown potatoes. I went to box everything up and I lifted the lid thinking I was going to put something in the Tupperware.
He was probably having hot flashes.
I yelled down the stairs, "Young man, did you actually eat an entire pan?" It's like, "I can't hear you."
Yeah.
You are in so much trouble.
And he's probably uncomfortable and in pain.
He said he felt great, but that's because I was scolding him.
I was just about to say, whatever. He's just trying to
Lying.
argue with you.
So he's really naughty. But
That's
I
too
just,
funny.
he's an awesome cook, and I want to be able to enjoy those meals. Have been an important part of who we are.
Yeah. So
I want to be able to do that.
If you lose a ton of weight, okay, let's get down to where you feel comfortable amongst your friends, and you go back to eating with him functionally, but yet you gain weight back to where you're at today. If this is what you get by eating functionally with your husband, would you be okay with this?
I think so.
Okay, I want you to focus in on that, because then you can kind of relax a little bit. Then ultimately the way you want to eat forever, being that it is functional. If the outcome of that, you're going to just accept whatever it is, because you really want to just eat without ever needing to go on another diet again.
Yep.
If you can't eat functionally without gaining, there's something else wrong.
Right.
So let's...
Where you're going to be.
If you eat the way you want to eat, and this is where your body hits, you're going to have to accept it. Otherwise, you're going to have to feel deprived the rest of your life to fit your friend's opinion.
Ew. Yeah.
Did that hit it like a, oh!
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because you kind of have to either care more about what you love to do with your husband or care more about their opinion.
Yeah.
Right now, you care about their opinion because you're getting rid of that. You're changing your food. You're doing this because you're focusing on that. And it's when this is over, we got to get you to not focus on this. Focus on the way you want to eat. Listen to your body. I'm trying to get you to get rid of the scale, too. That we don't want to use your weight as a guide to how you eat. We're going to use your body. You're more likely to have success in maintaining whatever it is that you get to on this if you listen to your body.
Right.
Another reason why I don't want you to be scale focused.
Well, I'm not. Right now I'm clothes focused. My feet are thinner. I put on my knee-length boots and they're looser around my calves.
I'm going to
Things
pull
fit
you
right.
back down because it's so nice to finally feel like yourself. But you're not getting anything special. You're getting back to what you should have been the whole time, bitch.
Exactly.
So don't get off on what's happening.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I've been, and I've heard people say that, trapped in someone else's body or whatever. But I do feel like I'm finally starting to feel like me again. Things that I know I should have been able to wear these pants for the last 2 years, but I haven't.
Your soul it's kind of matching the body and soul. And you know
I'm
what?
not trying to be a 98-pound skinny mini. I just want to be healthy and feel like I look good and
remember that when you
enjoy.
start caring about their opinion.
Right.
Okay, because they have some, again, narrow view of what every human being should look like, especially performers. They micromanage that, right? Can you see how that might be one way that they feel secure in their own little niche area?
Sure, absolutely.
So they hold other people, performers, to a different standard. But once you get into that performer's world, they're picking apart everybody around them so that they can be higher up on a pecking order.
Interesting.
That's what happens in religion. We pick our own people apart religiously. And then so does athletics. Look at how we're trained in athletics. I played volleyball. It's not so much the same because it's not an aesthetic sport. But let's look at gymnastics. How many gymnasts hold themselves to some crazy standard amongst each other?
Absolutely.
So you've got to look at kind of your subculture.
And it's a big one.
It is a big, and you've got to keep a little bit of a distance from it. Even though if you want to attain a certain level of, oh my God, you're amazing. Right?
That's the industry.
I know. With affectations. Let's get an affectation, obviously. You're amazing.
It's fabulous.
That was fabulous. You have to kind of not take it serious.
Yeah, it's not the end all, and it's not what defines
don't get
me.
off on it, but keep a distance.
Yeah.
I want to get your measurements.
We've never taken my measurements.
Well, I want to get your weight because I know what's happening.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to pull you in and get you out and pull you in. I'm playing a game with you right now.
Yeah. Do you think I don't know?
I'm going to grab the scale. Do you want to sing?
No. Turn that off.
All right. Thank you for sharing.